Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Sorry about how the view might be a little shadowy. I'm trying to figure out the best angle, but it's kind of hard because I am going to share with you guys a couple of story times detailing what I've been going through for the past at least around about a month or a little over a month, honestly, but around about that. So as you guys can see, I look a little crazy. Don't mind me. That's part of what I'm also going to be doing in this video is I'm going to have a straightening chat with you. So basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to straighten my hair and I'm going to chat while I'm straightening my hair. I'm going to chat telling you guys what I've been going through, why you haven't been seeing much of me lately, and what the situation has been. So I'm going to prop this camera up. I'm doing this on my phone right now because y'all, I'm gonna touch on everything. So I'm gonna prop this up right here, and is that very shadowy? It is very shadowy unless I get right underneath and getting y'all face like this, which I'm not about to do. So y'all, it's gonna be a little shadowy. So what I'm gonna end up doing today is straightening. Excuse me, guys. Sorry. Gotta get this mucus out my system. But anyway, what I'm gonna be doing today is using my straightening brush. If you've watched my channel before, which, sorry guys, let me do a quick disclaimer. Hi guys, I'm Ruth Delgado with Ruth Delgado Glamour Page, and thank you for coming by and watching and viewing and having mad love for my channel. I appreciate you. And if you've subscribed and you're already a part of the Truth Tribe, thank you very much for your support, your love. Put some comments in that comment section. Like, comment, subscribe, and share all that good stuff. Y'all know. And if you have yet to subscribe, please press that subscribe button. Baby, it don't cost you nothing, honey. And it just gives me more, more stance on YouTube. So, all right, I'm going to get right to it. So I'm going to plug my brush up, my straightening brush. Plug that in. Let's see. Okay, wait. Taking like it's going to let me plug it. My plug was acting stupid for a second. Okay, so guys, what I'm going to share with you guys is basically what I've been going through over the past, like I said, month and a half. I'd say roughly like 6 to 8 weeks, but may not be that long for some of the story. So where I'm going to start off at is I had a job for a short period of time. Okay, so if you guys been watching me for quite some time, then you would know that, child, look at this, look at this, look at this. Did somebody look at this? Look, oh Lord, oh Lord, child, why you on the internet looking like this? And then your brush is smoking because it got hair in it. Y'all don't pay me no mind. I'm just, like I said, if you guys have been watching me for some time, then you guys would already know that I've been working diligently on relationships, on, trying to be clear on what my value is as a woman, so many different things, okay? So, when the coronavirus hit, just to give you guys a replay or a rundown of my story. Coronavirus now has existed for what, almost 3 years, right? And ever since then, before I worked this last job that I'm telling y'all about right now, I had not worked any job at all for quite some time, because of Corona. So, like, literally the time frame that Corona happened. Okay, so before Corona officially hit and everybody knew about it and was taking precautions for it and everything, I would say that officially happened in March of 2019, 2020. So March of 2020 would have to be around the closest date that I can think of that Corona had officially hit. Everybody knew about it in America and was like wearing masks and stuff and taking precautions because of the virus, right? So when all of this happened, I had only been out of work for like, I'd say maybe 3 or 4 months. Don't quote me on that though. It can be a give or take more or less time. Like I said, it was 3 years ago now, so pardon my memory being a little off, possibly. But anyway, so since then, I had, no, not since then. So back then, I had not been working for about a couple of months, 3 months probably to the max. And I had went literally right back into trying to find a job and seeing, about getting some more income. But the problem was that when I went to go try to find a job, as well as go back to dancing so that I can, earn some more money, everything was closed. Or everything was closing. So I had put in applications, but I couldn't go to any interviews because everything shut down. Literally, everything shut down. And then, so because everything had shut down to the point that I couldn't go to any interviews or anything like that anymore, I decided, okay, let me try to go ahead and get a regular job. Let me try to go ahead and do the dancing again. And when I tried to do that, that didn't go through well either, because when I went to the club that I was dancing at, that didn't have a problem. I had the club to go to the dance at, so that was cool. But the problem that did come was that night, because of COVID also, the management at the club that I was dancing at basically was telling me that that was going to be the last night that the club was going to be open. Why? Because of COVID. So I was like, okay. So basically, literally, everything is shutting down because of COVID. So when all of that occurred and happened, I had not worked for quite some time, which I ended up stopping that time frame of me not working last month. Okay, so let me look at my old phone and find out legit for y'all how long exactly it was when I was working the job that I was working. So I'm gonna tell y'all when I started. So I'm gonna call my old supervisor Mr. B. All right. So my old supervisor, Mr. B. I wasn't, to be honest with y'all, before I even started working for these people, I wasn't sure from the rip how long I was going to be working with them. Here's why. Because in the first communications with Mr. B and I, who was my old supervisor, it was some slight like discrepancies or misunderstandings in the beginning. So I kind of already from the rip felt like I don't know how long this gonna last, but we're gonna try and see. So, um, I'm trying to go through my messages to give y'all some receipts on what I mean by us having some slight discrepancies, like the location, because like basically he had given me the wrong location, and he tried to make it seem like I just heard wrong, and he literally clearly gave me the wrong information for the location. So that already made me feel from the rip like I don't know how long I'm gonna last with these, working with this guy, but I'm gonna try it out because like when I did go to the interview and everything, the interview went well. The conversation went well and everything. So I said, okay, let me see how long it'll go. Now, the job position was a cleaning lady because if you guys also have been watching my channel for quite some time or know me personally, then you will know that I already have a cleaning business of my own that I do for myself. But I also, when I work, the last two job positions that I consistently held on to was a cleaning lady and a um, security guard. And so um, the job that I just had for 4 weeks was the cleaning lady job. So um, I was working with Mr. B, and damn, let me backtrack a little bit more for y'all. When I first started, my first week, matter of fact, forget the first week, first day, my first day working for Mr. B, um, I was sick as a dog. That's a story time in and of itself that I'm about to go into right now. So basically, that weekend before I started working, like officially started working, excuse me, guys, my boyfriend, um, he had bought me some food, a platter, like a soul food platter, from some place around the neighborhood or whatever. But yo, when I tell you the chicken wings were way too big for comfort, they really were way too big for comfort. And so when I noticed that, I told him, I said, yo, I don't even feel comfortable eating these chicken wings because they just seriously look way too big. And he was like, yeah, I know. He's like, but we had to get something to eat or whatever. So I had to get something. And I was like, yeah, all right. So I ate the chicken wings. I didn't eat all of it, though. So the next day, which was Monday from the weekend, my stomach was bothering me the entire day, and I was throwing up the entire day of my first day working with Mr. B. And I ended up meeting someone else who was training. It's a young lady. I'm gonna call her Miss A. So I was working with Mr. B and Miss A, and literally for my first day of working with them, I was having a terribly hard time because I was very sick. I was throwing up. I was feeling like I was going to pass the heck out. And I still was trying to make myself work, even though I had to a couple of times chill out and lay down and try to relax myself before I fell out. But other than that, like, I carried through the day and everything. But I said all that to say, basically, that 4 weeks had a rough start to start with. And so it just kind of got harder throughout the process and later on or whatever. So carrying on throughout the weeks, like I said, it got harder as time passed by because, like I said before, this was my first time working after, a couple of years of not working at all because of Corona breaking out and they like literally shutting everything down. So, my whole major situation was like, okay, let me just get through like a certain, like I was already, like I said to y'all before, like I already was thinking, because of how he had gave me the wrong directions and stuff, I was already thinking, uh-oh, I might not last with them for long. So I was already thinking, like, I'm counting down the time of how long I'm gonna be with them, or whatever. But I was definitely planning to be there longer than 4 weeks. It just didn't work out that way. And here's why. So, without further ado, I got through the first 3 weeks, and it came to the Monday of my fourth week that I was, trying to make sure that I got to work. And I had my boyfriend taking me, driving me there. And this particular day, I was going to end up having to come back on the bus because my boyfriend was not going to be available again to take me back because he was going to be at work himself. So he wasn't going to be able to be available for both. But I was just, all right, you can just take me and I'll take the bus back or something like that. Now, mind you, not only had I not worked throughout this whole entire um, 3 years of Corona, but I've also never took the bus since the Corona hit. So because of all of that, that's probably another reason why my anxiety really was like acting up like crazy that day, because I knew that I didn't have a ride back. Like for the first 3 weeks, Mr. B had Miss A coming to pick me up and dropping me off. So that made it a bit easier for me for the first 3 weeks because I did not have to get on the bus. I did not have to figure out how to take that long behind trip to and from work every day because I had a ride. But being as though I knew now that I didn't have a ride both ways, I felt like that's probably why my anxiety was really making me sick that day. So to make a long story short, on the ride to work, my chest, I was having terribly bad chest pains. Now let me give you guys another throwback story time type situation. My mom, who's my foster mother, but I respect her like my biological mother because she's the only mother that I've known my whole entire life and the only person that I love like a mother. So my mother has a condition where she has chest pains too. She doesn't have a bad heart. But what she does have is what she calls pleurisy. And doctors will call it the same thing, but they say they have a new word for it. I forgot what the doctor said the new word for it was. But anyway, what pleurisy is it's pains that you get in your chest sometimes when you're breathing and or when you're moving around. And those pains can be very like sharp and kind of like shut you down and like make you feel like you can't move sometimes, and or make you cry because it hurts that bad. And that morning, that was the type of situation that I had. Like I started crying because my chest was hurting so bad and it hurt to breathe. Excuse me. So because it hurt to breathe and my chest was hurting so bad and I was literally crying at this point, my boyfriend literally looked over at me from the driver's seat and was like, I'm about to take you to work. I'm about to take you to this hospital. Matter of fact, we had just passed by my hospital and I told him, like just right as soon as we was about to pass by it, oh, that's my hospital. So he was like, later, he was like, yeah, I'm about to take you right back around here to where you said you went to your hospital. That's your hospital. He's like, you about to go to your hospital because I'm not about to take you to work with you crying like this. And I know I can't even come back to get you because I have to be at work and I can't take no days off. So he was like, I'm sorry, but I know you was trying to make the work and everything, but your health is, more what I care about than anything else. And I couldn't even argue with him because at that time, like I said, I was in so much pain that I barely could say anything. I barely could talk, like for real, for real. So, and it stressed me out so bad because, like, first of all, like I said, I had a time frame that I was going to stay with this company, but it was not as short as 4 weeks. So I was definitely trying to stick through farther than 4 weeks. Also, I was kind of frustrated because I had just gotten the keys, I had just gotten the smock, I had just gotten everything that I had been waiting for 3 weeks, to have so that I could properly do my job by myself and not have to worry about waiting on nobody else. And I ended up not being able to do it. So it just like really frustrated me because I had to get the keys back, the smock back, all that. I had to stop working, and all that. And he did. He took me to the emergency room. And I hated this. Like, I really dreaded it. But like I said, I couldn't really argue with him because I was in so much pain. So he took me to the emergency room, and immediately when he said he was going to take me to the emergency room, I started putting gloves on. I put double mask on. Like, I was not playing because I'm like, what I'm not about to do is all this time that Corona has been out, not have Corona, but then go to the hospital because of my chest hurting me and end up getting Corona. So that's why I was like, let me go ahead and make sure that before I even have to go into this hospital situation, that I ain't got to worry about, you know, not being protected. Let me protect myself properly. So I protected myself all properly, told Ty to protect himself, put his double mask on and everything. And, this is even while I'm still crying and, in pain and stuff. So, one of the saddest parts of me being at the hospital that day is that I called a number of different people that I felt like should care. Should. Maybe don't, but should care about me. Because my twist is this: every time I go to the hospital or any place like that, I try to make sure I don't go by myself. And if I do go by myself, I try to make sure that people know that I'm there. Reason why is because I know how it's a lot of people that will take advantage of a person because they by themselves and they at a place like that. So because of that, I try to make sure that if I am by myself, that I don't seem like I'm by myself because, I'm talking to somebody on the phone or I have somebody come to see me or whatever. So like I told you already, my boyfriend was with me because he was the one that was driving me to work that day. But I wasn't sure whether, like, what they was going to tell me was wrong and whether they was going to keep me in the hospital or not. And if they did keep me, I didn't know how long they was going to keep me for. So I was calling around to like a bunch of different people that I knew, family, friends, or whatever, and trying to see, and my mother included, trying to see, who I can get to make sure that even if they didn't come to the hospital, that they made sure they could call and check up on me and make sure I'm alright. So, I made the phone calls and I only got a response from one person. My mom didn't respond. Come to find out weeks later, once I did get the chance to talk to her, she said that she didn't respond because her and the whole family had coronavirus. I'm telling y'all, this is the craziness that I've been going through. So basically, my mom's telling me that it's possible that she and the whole family either could have had corona when I was there with her on Christmas Day, which I was there with her on Christmas Day. She said, or they could have got it right after, um, you know, that time frame, like right around New Year's or whatever. And I'm just sitting there thinking to myself, well, I know I was in the hospital, but I darn sure wasn't in there for no COVID uh, symptoms. I was in there strictly for my chest was hurting me. So Let me go back. So, all right, only one person answered the phone, and that one person was Meg. Matter of fact, she didn't even answer. She called me back later. And so, when she called me back, I basically told her, let her know that I was in the hospital or whatever, let her know what the situation was and everything. And that was that. But it was kind of like, I don't know what the point of letting her know was, because I knew she wasn't in Philly and she wasn't going to be coming to Philly. So it was just like, I don't know. I guess it was just like the point of just letting somebody besides Ty, the time that I was like at the hospital, who I was with, somebody besides them knowing that I was there. I guess that's probably the only reason why I really like felt like I should tell, you know, them. But anyway, so that hurt me, that I wasn't getting an answer from my mom, and I found out, like I said, later on why. But I'm not gonna lie, it still hurt, even though I know why now. But anyway, so carrying on, um, because of me having to go to the emergency room, I could not go to work that day. And I actually ended up having to leave the hospital because I had stayed in the hospital for hours. I think about 4 or 5 hours I stayed in the hospital for an emergency room. I literally was the first one in the emergency room. That's what the nurses was telling me. They was like, every time I kept asking them, because I kept